What's up, Hoopers? Did the Los Angeles Lakers just steal some guy named Matt Ryan and find their three-point shooter? I think so. In this video, we're just going to figure out who the heck is this Matt Ryan guy. We're going to dig into his past. We're going to break down the future. We're also going to find a surprise player that is identical to him that played on one of LeBron James's championship teams. So we're going to break down Matt Ryan, if he can even make the Lakers team, and if he does make it, what this means for them and the other potential roster fits. Now, we're also going to break down, shot charts and how he will fit in this offense. You're not going to want to miss it. This looks like a dude that the Lakers just stole. I am your NBA white guy. I talk all things NBA hoops from a Hooper's perspective. And if you like that kind of content, then make sure you dunk that like button and you subscribe so that you never miss a thing. So the past few preseason games for the Lakers, they have been on an 0-3 slide, but they go into the fourth preseason game playing a Steph Curry-led Warriors team. Obviously, all the starters, the main starters for the Lakers besides Anthony Davis, were out, and that was actually a pretty exciting game. Now, one thing I want to mention before we get into old Matty Ryan, Matty Ice, and no, not the quarterback in the NFL, AD's looking good. That's a top 4 player, and I hope in his mind he's got a chip on his shoulder the size of a bag of Lay's potato chips, because he is looking scary out there. But besides the point of that, you've got to have players who can stretch the floor. Now, there's been some remarkable talent like Kendrick Nunn, and if you've been listening to my channel at all for the past few months, I have been super high on Nunn, and that dude is a walking bucket. I tried to told y'all. Now, we've had some other great shooting. LeBron had a great night, just 2 preseason games ago. And besides that, it's just kind of onesie-twosie. Who's going to stretch that defense out? Cole Swider's a guy that I'm really enjoying watching. He's not having the best shooting performance, but he is ready to fling it. But Matt Ryan, this is a guy who came in, and he has actually played in 3 preseason games. It almost doesn't seem like that. He's knocked down a couple threes, but in Game 4 against the Warriors, he was the reason they were able to win. Now, one thing I've been talking about in the preseason, and the one thing that I hated about the Lakers season last year, wasn't that they were old, wasn't that they didn't have shooting. It was that they could not finish a game. And the thing that drives me nuts the most throughout LeBron James' entire career is whenever he sits on the bench just to try and get one breath, the entire team loses the lead. That is what really drives me crazy, and I couldn't imagine being in LeBron's footsteps there. So you got to be able to have players who can come out and keep that lead. Now, this is what, obviously without LeBron, without, many of the starters the second half, it was a shootout. And your boy, Matt Ryan, 6 of 9 from the three-point line and 2 clutch free throws to finish the game. He drops a 20-piece to really win this game, 3 points over the Warriors. Now, I'm going to get into something even crazier. We're going to break down who this guy is. We're going to read something, but first, I need you guys to hit that like button. This is the only way that my videos get out there. I have to use negative titles. If not, YouTube won't put my stuff out there. So you guys, if you're loving this, make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe. Now check this out. Now, should Matt Ryan make this 15-man roster for the Lakers? Well, he certainly should. And here is just a little bit of information that I received off of an article online. I really wanted to dig into his college career, G League presence. And so here's something that was written about him. Over the course of a college career spent toggling between Notre Dame, Vandy, and Chattanooga, Ryan knocked down 36% of his 4.7 three-point attempts a night. So nearly 5 three-point attempts a night. That means that's this guy's repertoire. I played in college with a dude who literally that's all he did was shoot threes. And this is back in the early 2000s before threes were a big thing. And when you have a guy like that, it's amazing. It is just so nice to have a guy who can stretch the floor, and it sounds like that's what he did. 36% isn't bad, but it gets even better. Last year, playing for the G League for the Grand Rapids Gold and the Maine Celtics along NBA regulation three-point line, Ryan's proficiency from behind the arc improved. He knocked down 41.3% of his triples at a high volume of 9 attempts a game. Now, let's just say he plays about 60 games for the Lakers. And first of all, you guys got to comment down below. Is Matt Ryan making this squad or not? I think, being a 6'8" shooter. And again, at the end of this video, I'm going to find somebody who is an exact comparison of him. Somebody who may play, 15, 17 minutes a game and stretch that floor because he's a tall three-point shooter. But if he averaged 9.1 attempts a game in just, his a matter of time, it would be in 60 games, 546 three-point attempts, making just over 200 of those. So again, I've talked about this in many videos. A lot of times we can get stuck with just a percentage, right? This guy shoots 41%. Well, sometimes, they don't shoot as many, three-point attempts as this guy. And this guy might shoot more, but he shoots it, at 37%, 38. And you're like, well, the 41% is a better shooter. Not necessarily. You have to understand, again, from a hooper's perspective, if there is a guy who is only known for coming in and shooting threes and he can shoot it at a high percentage, which is upper 30s, low 40s, you're going to always have to respect this guy. This is stuff we talked about with Bogdanovich. Any of these players who their number one job is to shoot the three ball, then your defense has to recognize that. When you're in the locker room before the game, you're like, hey, if this guy comes out, Matt Ryan comes out, make sure that we're getting a handout on the ball, right? Because again, whether he's making it that night or not, as a defender, that guy's scouting report is he shoots, right? So it's just something that really helps the defense. You can never leave him alone, right? And it also instills confidence, in a LeBron James or, even a Russell Westbrook or none or whoever's running the point, that they got a guy out there who's not afraid to shoot. Now, a guy who can shoot 41+%, this is incredible, especially with 9 attempts a game. This is not a guy who just shot, 33 pointers in the G League. He was averaging 9 a game. Now it even gets better. Check this out. If we look at this one, Ryan also scored well from all over the court during the G League tenure of 21 and 22. So this is last year. He averaged 19.4 points a game, 3.4 rebounds, 2 assists, 0.7 steals in 33 minutes across 30 games. He tallied a line of 47% from the field, 41.3% from the three-point line, and 86% free throws. The Lakers were atrocious at free throws last year. This is a good one whenever they get any kind of violation or technical, and he's on the court, man, he can go knock down that free throw confidently. I think Nunn's another guy who can do that too. But that's a great shooting line right there. During one, especially in January, contest for the Grand Rapids Gold, the Denver Nuggets G League, he scored 34 points, which include 9 made three-pointers. Now, again, the guy that I played with in college, he set the record with 11 three-pointers in one game. And I remember, one game we found the scouting report of the other team, and it was just like, no matter what, get a guy out there. Do not allow him to even cross half court without, a hand up. So this is a guy, Matt Ryan, in, college at the college three-point line, which is 1 foot out from high school, was shooting about 37%. Comes out to, obviously, the NBA. That tells me that this dude has just been doing nothing but living in a gym and working on that three-point shot, and that's what's going to be his ride or die. It's going to either make or break him. He was on the verge of almost, on the break point. But if you listen to what Darvin Ham had to say in his interview, he said, I think he just earned himself a job. So I bet you he is super high, in regard to the Lakers talk. This is a 6'8" guy. Now, I'm not quite sure if his defense is there. In the G League, he was averaging, 3.4 rebounds, 2 assists, and almost 1 steal. So he's not lazy. I was watching him out there a little bit. He kind of gets lost and turned around. But that's just trying to adapt to, NBA style playing. And obviously he's got nerves like you wouldn't believe, trying to just make this team. So he's probably can buy into that system, but we don't want him for his defense. Like, everybody's going to buy into defense. We've seen that energy. The one thing I've talked about in these videos is the offense sucks. And if you get a guy who can really stretch the floor, three-point line, this is really going to open things up. Because what does LeBron like to do? He likes to get in the middle, get the guy on his shoulder, and go to work. So if the paint is clogged because you ain't got no shooters, that's a problem. Again, I'm going to break down a guy that is identical to him. But before I do that, make sure you dunk the like button. It's the only thing that's helping my videos. And comment down below again, is our boy Matt Ryan going to make this team? All right. So who does he look just like? Well, not only does he look like him, same height, same weight, same skin color. It's another NBA white guy. It's your boy Mike Miller. So if we go over to the chart, I'll show you exactly why I believe that this player is almost just like Mike Miller. But before I get to that, you might be like, Mike Miller, why would we even care? The thing about Mike Miller, and again, I watch these things from a hooper's perspective, is in the Miami runs, that they had late into the playoffs. He was a guy that really didn't play too much during the regular season. He would come in for spouts, here and there. But in the postseason, Miller was a a dude you talked about it. He was a household name. Everybody talked about him. He even made that three-pointer with one shoe on. This is a guy that elevated his play in the playoffs. And the number one thing that Coach Spoelstra was saying back then was that he loved how much Mike Miller was spreading the floor, which gives a prime LeBron James the ability to get into the middle of the court and dunk it. But he had some incredible games. You know, I think he set the actual record for a non-starter with 7 3-pointers made. So again, when you look at a comparison, they're both 6'8", they're both 220 pounds, they're both NBA white guys, and they can both shoot the lights out. So let's check it out. All right, so if we go here, we'll check out old Mikey Miller. He had a pretty good run there for a North Dakota boy who went and played 15 seasons at the NBA. But right here, you can see this is that 2012-2013 year with the Miami Heat. He played about 60 games, averaged about 15 minutes per game. Again, this is a 7-8 man rotate, 9-man rotation. He'll get in, he'll get some minutes, especially if he's shooting at a high click. You'll see, a guy like Matt Ryan getting 15, 17 minutes a night, which is great. He averaged, it was just about 3 3-point attempts a game, shooting 41.7%. So Matt Ryan has an exact season of 41.7%. So this is something that's kind of telling. You can see, 0.1 steals or 0.4 steals, 1.7 assists, 2.7 rebound. So it's really going to be a stat line that we would see out of Matt Ryan. We're not bringing him in to be our defensive stopper, to get blocks, to get a bunch of steals. That's what Pat Bev's for. That's what we watched AD just slam a ball and almost throw it through the court. And even LeBron was picking up his energy. But Dennis Schroeder, you got guys like Max Christie, you got JTA. These dudes are all playing super tough defense. And the one thing I've noticed, even though Swider's not getting that many, shots to fall, he's leading the team in steals and offensive rebounds. So he is working his tail off. Again, you can't teach effort. There's going to be plenty of hustle guys and effort guys. And if you get a dude out there outside who can just knock down 3 3-pointers in a row, or maybe 5 in a row, or even just 2 at the right time, it can change the trajectory of the game, and it can really get some more W's. You guys let me know in the comments, does he remind you of Mike Miller, maybe even a Kyle Korver? Obviously, he has not had any decorated season yet. He may not even make the Lakers roster. But if you want a good comparison, when I saw him play and his style, not being a top defender, but a guy who is just not afraid to shoot, has a beautiful release, 6'8", it is those kind of players, and they've always bode well, in fact, very well in a LeBron James system. So this is something, when you get a good shooter like that, they can start having career years, and he could really help them Lakers. Comment down below, does Matty Ryan make the team? Who does he remind you of? And right now, you got to hit that like button for your NBA white guy. I am the NBA white guy. And if you never want to miss my videos, then you got to hit the subscribe button. And until my next video, homies, we'll catch you later.